So in this video, I'm going to talk about what I love about triggers. Because there's a lot of talk about, triggers everywhere. And, it's all about how to not hurt, how to be loved, how to, focusing on narcissists, which means outer world focus, not that we are very defensive and therefore we, attract people that really hurt us where we're most in pain or lacking love from ourselves, you see. So I would love to shift this perspective around, shift from the victim mindset to the growth mindset, because I think that's what, life is all about. And with that said, I would love to say and share with you that my name is Maro and I'm the founder of Awakening Games. So I've created a game where we actually play the game of life and using everything that until now we thought as a drawback, as a trigger, as negative, to exponentially grow more and more into self-sourced love. And I will be posting all my courses in the description boxes of all these videos. So if you are interested, please don't hesitate to check them out. Also, please like my videos if you find this content amazing. Do follow me and do comment below and share this content if you think that by sharing it, you'll help others. Let's breathe into that. Breathe in. Hold, breathe out. So triggers. I can assure you that I didn't even know what triggers were before my healing journey, before my spiritual awakening. I didn't even know, that they did exist. I didn't know what purpose they were serving. And I was living life very much asleep. But then when we start waking up, it's first actually, I don't know how everybody wakes up and in what sequence, but I mean, to actually cultivate that, more and more presence and self-love and healing our inner child and, maturing emotionally, we would actually want to be paying attention to triggers in a different way and not in a way that we have been until now. So if you do feel triggered, or if you're avoiding triggers or you're defensive to them, or you don't know what a trigger is, I'm here to share this with you. So let's breathe into that. Breathe in. Hold, breathe out. So triggers can come up and show up in many ways. It could be on a thought level. It could be something that we have actually experienced in the past, something that we are afraid of experiencing in the future, and something that we might be experiencing in the here and now. So it can be a live trigger, somebody actually creating something or doing something or telling us something that actually triggers our wounds. And so yes, triggers can be activated in various ways and forms. And I personally find that triggers are our guides, are our teachers to self-healing and self-love. And they are actually pointing out where we are on a consciousness level at every point in time. So no matter how much healing we've done, no matter how much spiritual work we've done, triggers are going to be triggers. And if we do not want them, then we could defend ourselves from them. But if we do, we're actually defending ourselves from life and from growth. Breathe in. Hold, breathe out. So we cannot avoid triggers as we cannot avoid growth, but what we can do is we can actually shift our perspective on how we view them and see them. And this cannot be done in a one moment, that's it. I did it once, it's done. I know what triggers are now. We need to be repetitively training ourselves through being triggered by practicing presence within our body again and again and again. And at some point there is a shift as we're going through this healing journey by practicing through triggers, where yes, we still get triggered, but we don't take things personally. We've cultivated individuation, if it's called that way, I think. Don't quote me on this. But yes, Individuation means that I know that I'm separate from another. So there's a lot of talking about, love being one and union, and love is, everything is one and there's no separation, there's no duality. I personally don't agree. I believe that duality is as sacred as union, that two are as sacred as one. And I believe this because I believe that we need to know that it's okay to be separate. If that's okay, then it's also okay to be one. But if being separate is not okay, then how is being one with others okay? I really don't understand it. So, therefore, cultivating individuation, which means, being able to understand that I'm, experiencing this reality while you can be experiencing a different reality, and that is okay, and it's still safe. It doesn't have to, mean that this is a rupture in our relationship. Whereas before, when we're not individuated yet, we haven't healed through the triggers to understand that we are also separate, because somebody told us we're always one, right? If that's not okay, we take triggers personally. We take things that others do personally, and that means something about ourselves. We do not know how to separate ourselves from the experience that another person has. And usually, if we've suffered narcissistic abuse, this is probably the case. So, according to my opinion, I truly, really believe that cultivating and practicing separation, separateness, duality, and individuation is as important and a prerequisite so that we can actually also practice union. So yeah, so triggers will help us actually more and more the more we are choosing growth, because this is a moment per moment case. In every trigger, if we're choosing to actually choose growth, and we're more curious to understand what is this experience trying to reveal for me, if we're more interested and curious into what is this revealing for me, then that is actually opening up the infinite possibilities to explore more of me, and that is growth. Breathe in. Hold, breathe out. So in order to bring in and call in more triggers and allow for them to guide me, we would want to, through the trigger, either we are stuck on the thinking process, ruminating thoughts, or emotional stress, right? Or physical sensation of stress or any other negative emotion or feeling. Once that comes up, we're wanting to pull our attention on our sensations, on our bodies. This is how we go from split in duality, where the dualities are fighting each other out, to union. But this union is actually, so there's a splitting of duality that's fighting each other out, opposites fight each other off, and then there is the individuation process, which says this, that okay, these opposites are not canceling each other out necessarily. How about if they help each other dance together? This is when we're using the negative to be trained by it, right? We're using triggers to train us and to say yes to the negative, so that the negative becomes the guide to more positive. And this is how the opposites start integrating and dancing together. And from this, we are creating the third energy, that is union. So duality is actually serving us for more and more union. It is not to be shamed and made wrong. And as we are actually feeling this process, going from duality that is fighting each other out, and how does that look like? Well, there's the one part of me that is getting triggered and is hurting, and there's the other part of me that says, now this was wrong, I have to change this, throw this person out, or fix me, or I'm at fault. So there's one part of me that's feeling hurt, and one part of me that's making it wrong. This is duality at war. This is suffering. Now, once we start the healing process, we actually, through the trigger, say yes to it, allow to feel it. And the observer is saying, I'm here with you, by being present in our bodies. By practicing this again and again, we are creating, through this process, the third energy. And the third energy is a vibration where duality is actually one. And it's that healing energy that can actually, once we start cultivating this practice, from going from duality that's fighting each other to duality that's starting to dance with each other, and we're getting to that third energy, which is the outcome of those two dancing together and embracing those two that are fighting each other. So both, first part and the second part, are essential for our growth, for our spiritual ascension. So this is why, for me, triggers are sacred. Duality is sacred. Our shadow, our ego is sacred, because all those are components that are helping us, guiding us to more and more of who we are, spiritually, emotionally, humanly, right, on all levels. So that's my video and my take on triggers. Share with me what's your take on yours, and see you on the next video.